All right, Jimmy High Roller just dropped. Let's check it out.
It may not mean nothing to y'all. Understand nothing was done for me, so I don't plan on stopping at all. I want this shit forever, mine, never mind, ever mind. Shutting shit down in the mall and selling that girl, she the one for me, and I ain't even planning to call. I want this shit forever, mine, never mind.
Hey, yo, I haven't watched the Jimmy High Roller video in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Sorry for the lack of uploads, but hey, the NFL season's coming up and the picks are about to drop. I'm telling y'all right now, stay tuned for that, and let's check it out. Enough yapping.
Players is
Type.
useless, but it's also really fun. Every NBA fan at some point.
Only way to settle the GOAT debate, I ain't gonna lie, the GOAT is this guy right here, LeBron James. Argue with a wall, bruh. Real shit. Like, let's keep it a stack. If you're playing a 5-on-5 game, like, you know what I'm saying, and you had to pick one or the other, like, Jordan or LeBron, obviously you're choosing LeBron, bro. Let's just keep it a stack, bro.
It's like our official pastime at this point. And with the game as data-driven and awards and accomplishments as absolute as the NBA.
Now, I'll give Jordan one thing, bro. He has, like, the most goated mentality. Not only that, he's, like, the greatest winner of all time. You know what I'm saying? But, come on, bro. And in terms of, like, everything else, it's LeBron.
But despite the countless efforts to make a flawless, coherent, all-time ranking of NBA players,
Excuse me.
no one can seem to get it quite right. Some players rank too high, others too low, some not even ranked at all. Make any of these mistakes and your ranking will immediately get dismissed. The latest attempt at this fleeting endeavor came last week from Bleacher Report when they released their top 100 NBA players ever list. A ranking that seemed relatively good.
I don't know if I've seen that or not.
Onslaught of criticism. Like everyone else that made an
Rage
attempt
bait.
for them, this list was not accurate. Not good enough. Why is it so difficult to make an all-time ranking that we can all agree on? I mean, we all have our own opinion, our own personal bias. Is it even possible to make such a list? And if we
It is
could,
impossible,
how would we
low-key.
even create it? Well, believe it or not, there is a method that we can use to rank every player in NBA history with shockingly good accuracy.
Boy,
It doesn't
no way.
use any numbers or data, no formulas or advanced metrics. It is a method way simpler than you would ever think.
What, just
and yet
stats?
it manages to get results with nearly 100% accuracy. Even crazier, we actually use this method all the time.
What the fuck is that? Was that gummy bears or what? Oh, I knew it! W Snipe, clap it up!
Among some of the more
Fuck.
glaring complaints about Bleacher Report's list include Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the now MVP, Finals MVP, and champion, not even making the list. Jason Tatum landing at 93. John Stockton ranked ahead of players like Chris Paul and Kawhi Leonard, and of course Kobe Bryant falling outside of the top 10.
Bruh, Kobe Bryant should be like a top 5 NBA player, bruh. I don't give a fuck. Like, the way he approached the game, the way he woke up like at 4 in the morning and fucking went stupid and didn't go clubbing, like, bro, he was just all about ball. Like, literally, ball is life for Kobe Bryant, bro. Rest in peace, bro.
Despite polling their staff of NBA experts, writers,
The Black
and
Mama
editors,
had it,
the
bro.
results of this
He's a top 5
comprehensive
NBA
ranking
player. I don't
only
give a
lets
fuck.
people confused and annoyed. Ranking players should not be this difficult, and yet it is.
Curry is the greatest point guard of all time, by the way.
But to understand
Fuck.
why it's so difficult, we first need to understand why every ranking, no matter how thought out it is, how logical the criteria is, how much data was used, always falls short. One popular approach that some fans and experts have taken over the years is the formula method. Create a point-based system and apply those points to various factors like career stats, accolades, and impact to make an objectively accurate ranking. A method that has been tested countless times with varying levels of success. Last year, John Hollinger, longtime NBA analyst and a man credited with creating some of the first advanced NBA statistics, created a formula to determine his all-time top 100 list. His criteria being a point-based system that put varying levels of weight into factors like MVP shares, finals MVPs, win shares, and career box plus minus. A formula that resulted in LeBron as the GOAT, Jordan second, Kareem third,
Bruh.
Duncan fourth.
I'm telling you, bruh, it's
Karl
LeBron.
Malone fifth all time. This list also
Karl
features
Malone.
Harden at 13, Hakeem
Don't
at
get me
19,
started with him,
Steph
bro.
all the way down at 27, and Isaiah Thomas at
What?
65.
Hell no, Curry's a top 5, bruh.
This Reddit user went through the trouble of creating an entire model from scratch to achieve the goal of, as he put it, quantifying careers using a formula that combines accolades with simple advanced stats while compensating for era and benchmarking, plus adjusting the weights of the formula against approximate expected rankings using least squared regression.
The fuck?
In other words, he used a whole lot of stats and accolades, made some applicable adjustments, and put together an all-time top 100 ranking. The results came in, and people hated it.
Yeah, bro, what the fuck is that?
This method, as well as every other method that attempts to be completely objective in its approach, is that it's not objective. Even concrete things like stats and awards will inevitably have some sort of weight or value attached to them based partially off of opinion. What is a championship worth, and how do you factor it in? Should there be an era tax on players who played half a century ago?
Yeah.
If there is,
nah,
when does it no longer apply?
I don't even
The
know,
80s?
bro, because they did go up against plumbers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure I could have played back in the day. I would have been dropping 30, bro. Word two. Don't sleep.
Is peak more important than longevity, or is it the other way around? Even awards themselves, like MVPs and DPOYs, are voted on by people with their own personal bias. Creating some sort of formula involves attributing value to all of these things, but without any impartial method of weighing all of these factors without injecting some sort of personal bias, the pursuit of creating a perfectly accurate ranking becomes virtually impossible. So, what if we just remove the personal bias? What if we strictly use data and numbers, two important factors that have no bias, to make a completely accurate and nonpartisan all-time ranking? Well, because the rankings get really weird really fast. For example, Box Plus Minus has Nikola Jokic as far and away the best player of all time. It also has Luka Doncic 4th.
Hey, Jokic
David
could be like one of the
Robinson
greatest
6th,
centers too.
and Tim Duncan 19th. But
What?
in the right hands and with enough data, and when used in conjunction with one another, a purely data-driven approach
This is literally a whole
could
math
lead us
problem
in
now.
the right direction. And this is what Ben Taylor of Thinking Basketball did back in 2017 when he created his top 40 list. As Ben says when describing his methodology, I won't attempt to balance Kobe's championships with Shaq, nor do I care about accolades like all-star teams or the number of Hall of Fame teammates someone played with. I also don't care about how many rings a player won. The very thing I'm trying to tease out is who provided the most lift. Instead of trying to assign value to things like rings and MVPs, Ben's list ranks players based on who provided the largest increase in the odds of a team winning a championship over the course of their career. Ben's specific method and reasoning is probably the best out there when it comes to seeking an objective ranking, using the best advanced metrics available and using them logically to find the most accurate conclusion. The results of this experiment were eventually updated in 2022 and are generally accepted
Jordan number 3? Nah.
as a
Alright.
really solid list without the outliers.
I think it
massive
is
holes that
impossible,
other
bro.
lists have. The only problem
'Cause
is
the personal
this
bias,
is not
too.
an all-time player ranking. As Ben stated, this list is a player evaluation, not necessarily a ranking of the greatest players of all time. And it's evaluating how good these players were, their abilities and their effectiveness in using those abilities, not how great they were or what they accomplished. A great exercise in determining which players had the largest impact on the court, but not the best method in determining how that impact actually translated to tangible success. For example, this method is providing evidence that Karl Malone had a larger statistical impact than Stephen Curry over
what?
the course of his career, but I'm
Cap.
not sure if there's a single human being on planet Earth that would argue Karl Malone is greater than Steph is. Using
Nah,
purely
bro.
statistics
Has he
and
even won a
data to
ring,
rank
bro?
players removes
I don't think that
valuable
motherfucker won a
context that
ring.
certainly matters when evaluating how great they were throughout their career. However, allowing awards and achievements to partially dictate rankings will inherently skew the results due to personal bias and variance of opinion. So looking at it through either of these lenses will lead you to inaccurate results. But maybe we're looking at this through the wrong lens altogether. We as fans are going to be biased. It's the very nature of being a fan. My team's great and they can do no wrong. So if we need to factor everything in, but we cannot do that without inserting some sort of bias, what if instead of trying to remove all bias from the equation, we factor this bias into the equation by asking fans what it is they value most when ranking players? If the accuracy of the rankings is determined by the fans, then so should the criteria. Well, that's exactly what this Reddit user did. Back in 2020,
What?
an NBA fan on Reddit took it upon himself to survey other NBA fans, 662 of them to be exact, on not just what's important to them in terms of greatness, but even what kind of fan they are. Among some of the questions asked were, how long have you been watching the NBA for? The most popular answer was 6 to 9 years. On a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a fan of the NBA are you? Over 80% of the results being at least an 8 out of 10.
Type
But
shit?
here's where things get interesting. One of the questions asked was, what do you think is more important in a player's career? Team success or individual success? 52%
At the end of the day, it is a team sport, so I guess my answer would be team success.
of voters said team success and 48% said individual success.
The fuck?
Almost an even 50-50 split between NBA fans in response to a very important question with two very different answers. Even more revealing,
because they gotta
voters
win
were
too,
asked,
you know,
what
like
are
in
the
order to
top
be
three
like one of the
most
goats.
important measures
Like
when
you could be
evaluating-
nice and all, but like fuck, bro, you need to win games. That's like saying LaMelo Ball's the goat. You know what I'm saying? He is nice. Don't get it twisted, but fuck, bro, he doesn't win any games. I don't think he's even been in the playoffs, bro. Come on, Melo. Fuck.
Greatest of all time.
Actually, I don't even think it's his fault, bro. It's Charlotte, the Hornets, bro.
is. The number one answer, career stats, followed by number of championships, number of regular season MVPs, total win shares, and career advanced statistics. The near 50-50 split between the importance of team success versus individual success visible in the almost even voting split between career stats and number of championships. One person can make their rankings based on how good a player was, meanwhile another person could make their rankings based on how much success a player had. Two completely different criterias. So how exactly can we make a player ranking that is agreed upon if we can't even agree on what actually matters, or at least what matters most? No matter what approach you take, no matter how much personal bias or opinion you try to take out of it, the results will always end
No
up
way
skewed
CP3
towards
dunked that
personal
ball.
bias or opinion you try to take out.
No way, Uglass
The results
CP3
will
fucking
always
dunked
end
that
up
shit.
skewed in some sort of direction. There's just too many factors. Difference in opinion, difference in what matters most. from
Hey,
fan-
Westbrook's a go too, bro. But I'll say he's a maybe top 30, maybe even 40.
It's a
I don't even
fan.
know. I just know Westbrook's
But
good,
there is
bro.
one way, one method that has
Like,
been
yeah, he
proven
fell off and
to
all,
be
but
the
fuck it,
best
bro.
way to get to
He's
an
still a
accurate
good
conclusion
point guard.
about things otherwise not agreed upon. What is this scientifically backed method? It's the exact one Bleacher Report used. Ask people,
What?
have you ever seen the show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire right now.
I've
It
actually
was a
never
game
seen that
show
show.
where
Fun
contestants
fact.
would answer a series of multiple choice questions, with each correct answer winning them more money and progressively getting more difficult until the eventual $1 million question. Now, this game show would feature one sole contestant at a time who had to answer these questions by themselves. However, each contestant was granted what were called lifelines, tools the contestant could use to help them answer difficult questions. These three lifelines were 50-50, eliminate 2 of the 4 options in a multiple choice question, leaving the contestant with a 50% chance of getting the right answer. Phone a friend, where the contestant could call a friend live on the show for help.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the third one was Ask the Audience, where each member of the audience would vote on what they thought was the correct answer to any given question. All of these lifelines were valuable, but one of them in particular
I'd probably do the
resulted in
50-50
correct
one.
answer far more than the others. The 50-50 lifeline, as the name suggests, got contestants to the correct answer about 50% of the time. Phoning a
shit.
friend resulted in contestants getting the correct answer 66% of the time. But asking the audience resulted in the correct answer
100?
92% of the
What?
by far the most accurate method of coming to the correct answer for any
That's
question
cheese.
in the show's history. And this is a demonstration of a concept known as the wisdom of the crowd, an idea that refers to the collective judgment of a group of people often being more accurate than the judgment of any single individual, even an expert. And it is an incredibly accurate method of arriving on the correct answer to any logical question. In 2011, the BBC network put this concept to the test by filling a jar with jelly beans and asking 160 contestants how many jelly beans they thought were in the jar. The answers were absolutely insane, ranging from 500 to 50,000. And yet somehow their
Okay, there's no
collective
50,000.
average was unbelievably close to the actual number. After conducting their experiment, it was revealed that there were exactly 4,510 jelly beans in the jar. The average guess among all 160 participants, 4,500.
What?
Despite their variance in answers, on average, the participants
That's actually
would
insane.
get within 99.9%.
I probably would
of
have
the
guessed like
correct answer. By
5,000.
aggregating the opinions or estimates of many individuals, the errors and biases of individual judgment tend to cancel each other out, leading to a collective result that is closer to the truth. And in possibly the most roundabout way I could conjure up, I think this same exact concept can be applied to ranking NBA players on an all-time list. Regardless of what the individuals value most and our own personal bias, if you ask enough people, chances are you'll more than likely end up at an accurate result. Better than strictly using stat-based metrics, better than the eye test or a combination of multiple factors. Simply asking people who the greatest players of all time are will show you exactly who the greatest players of all time are. And evidence of this can be found within the results of Bleacher Report's ranking. Someone ranked Kobe Bryant 18th all time. Their personal top 100 ranking is probably a little wacky, but this vote inadvertently balances out someone else who voted Kobe 4th all time. Same goes for
he's
every
top
single
5.
player on this list. Someone had Jokic 12th all time. Another voter had him 28th, and everyone
What?
else had him somewhere in between. The range of votes for Charles Barkley are probably the largest of any player on this list, with one vote for him as the 18th greatest player and another with him as the 74th
What the
greatest
fuck?
player. With individual rankings like this, you'd think the final result would be a mess, and yet Barkley ended up being ranked 25th all time, right about where he should be. Can we make a completely accurate ranking of the greatest NBA players ever? Well, we can get really close. In terms of how we would create it and what it would look like, you're looking at it. This isn't a matter of opinion, it is a statistical principle. As
What the
Bleacher
fuck?
Report put
No
it when
way.
Describing their methodology, it's an impossible task, especially when confronted with the reality of comparing players from different eras. Stats help, but calculators won't ever figure all of this out. But asking enough people just might.
And then they had Michael Jordan #1, so I don't know, bro. I guess in a general aspect, I guess Jordan is the GOAT, which honestly I don't mind, but still, in my personal humble opinion, bro, I got LeBron. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be LeBron. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Who y'all think the GOAT is? Who y'all think the top 10 players are? Comment down below. I might have to make a separate video of that. Like I said before, if y'all haven't already, go check out my second channel. You know what I'm saying? I'm always dropping videos on there. You know, always reacting. And, yeah, just extra videos, bro. And the NFL's coming up. So we about to go crazy. And, yeah, other than that, I'll catch y'all, boys. Peace!
Last name ever, first name greatest. Like the sprained ankle, boy, I ain't nothing to play with. Started off local, but thanks to all the haters, I know G4 pilots on a first name basis. English City faded off the ground. Nino, she insists she got more class. We know, swimming in the money, come and find me. Nemo,